First, I'd like to start this presentation by stating I'm a little bit under the weather. I got a bit of a cold, so I apologize for any sniffling, coughing, sneezing, anything of that sort. All right, this is my Phase 2 planning and implementation of medical logistics and laboratory e-commerce process improvement. The process improvement mission is to reduce manpower demand, the need for person-to-person information sharing, budget requirements, and product pipeline time. It's also to increase the laboratory spending power and their overall inventory control. E-commerce, sourcing for laboratory reagents. The laboratory uses reagents for testing blood of different ailments, to check for pregnancy, those kinds of things. These reagents, there's hundreds of different types of reagents. The reagents we're looking at here, probably anywhere from 30 to 50 different items. We are going to use our electronic catalog. This is the medical logistics source for e-commerce. We're going to reduce person-to-person information sharing, um, to which will also reduce laboratory manpower by eliminating the need for the laboratory to hand carry order forms that were previously placed on credit card. This will also eliminate shipping costs because with our electronic catalog or ECAT, there's no shipping costs attributed to each order. Um, Also, the average cost reduction is about $4 per item ordered. The reduction reduces number of credit card orders. This helps our medical logistics manpower and our acquisitions department. Um, each order can take, for these reagents, can take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours for both laboratory and medical logistics staff. If there needs to be a single purchase limit increase, the order is over $3,500, then those manpowers only increased, probably average 8 hours for medical logistics to accomplish that single purchase increase, which is SPLI. This process through electronic catalog will elevate the spending power by allowing the laboratory to order above that $3,500 threshold that was previously placed on credit cards. This allows them to order in more of a bulk setting so they can get more inventory in, run their quality control checks on that inventory, and hold that inventory for a lot longer period of time, and also reduce the number of orders throughout the year. The implementation timeline for this process, total about 5 weeks for implementation. There will be multiple departments within logistics and the laboratory partaking in this implementation. A lot of data collection from both the laboratory and medical logistics. There will be inventories done by the laboratory and quality control checks on those inventories. Product availability will increase, and completed with the whole timeline is also contains quality control measures. Let's start with week 1. This is going to be our data collection week. Medical logistics will identify the reagent item numbers. They will collect the manufacturer data for each item number. They will then source these item numbers through ECAT within our Defense Medical Logistics Standard Support Program, or DEMLS. This is our kind of our software that runs and collects all the data, QC, audit trails for all of our processes. They will ensure that that product is not only able to be sourced through ECAT, but available through ECAT. Also in this week, the laboratory will conduct an inventory for on-hand balances. They will set their reorder points. So currently what they have on hand and where they need to reorder that, and how many they need to reorder once it hits those points. They will then communicate this information to medical logistics so they can input it into DIMLs per each item number. Once week 1 is completed, then we work into week 2, which is the process test. We will take the information gathered from week 1. The medical logistics will evaluate the balances and reorder points, take those items that currently need to be ordered or that the laboratory identifies that needing to be ordered. We will place those orders through ECAT. Now, the current process is through credit card. So the laboratory would handwrite up or print out a spreadsheet annotated what items were needed, how many needed to be ordered, and what lot numbers. They would then hand carry that piece of paper or that spreadsheet to medical logistics, who would then get it to the medical logistics acquisitions department, and a card holder would then physically pick up a phone, call the manufacturer, verify availability, and place an order. Sometimes these orders could be placed all at once. Sometimes the size of the order would annotate having to order them over a period of a few days, or be due to a daily purchase limit of $3,500 per company, or submit an SPLI, which is a single purchase limit increase. This is a form that we fill out anytime a credit card needs to purchase over $3,500. We have to get quotes from 3 different companies for every item on the order, and then we submit it to our contracting agency. This can take anywhere from a few hours up to a few weeks, depending on how big the order is, how many items, and the dollar amount. The new process is all these items are going to be annotated in DIMLs, and each laboratory section now has a custodian that will take over control of DIMLs from a terminal upstairs in laboratory, which they already have access to for ordering other items. They will place the order in DIMLs, which then automatically send a signal down to medical logistics. They will then place these orders. They will process these orders from the customer side into what's called the inventory management side of the house, where acquisitions can immediately see this order and place it through the company. Once the order has been processed, which now takes a matter of minutes, the order can then be verified in ECAT. Make sure the customer didn't fat finger any inputs, for example, putting 111 instead of 11 for a product by looking at the customer's order history. Once all the items are verified, the ECAT process is, once it's been sourced, like we established in week 1, once it's been sourced, all we have to do is press an execute button. This sends an electronic signal from DIMLs at the terminal up in acquisitions to the ECAT point of contact, who will then send that order to the manufacturer or supplier under a government contract. All of ECAT items are covered under a government contract and have one set government contracted price, and all these prices are including shipping. So shipping is not an extra charge. With the credit card purchases prior, shipping was an extra charge. Excuse me. Also in week 2, after we've tested the ordering process, made sure that all the orders have been complete through DIMLs, We'll then track the orders through demos. Once the order hit is at the POC for ECAT, another another set of electronic transactions are then sent back to demos to be able to be seen on the medical logistics side. This will show tracking information, order confirmation, and order confirmation numbers. During week 2, laboratory will ensure that any of the products that are coming in through this ordering process during the week are accurate, are the same items that we were ordering on credit card, that they are one lot number, and if there's any issues, to bring those directly to medical logistics so that we can work those issues out through our ECAT POC. I apologize, that was a little convoluted, so I'll recap week 2. Week 2, we're going to evaluate the inventory and their reorder points. Any items that need to be reordered will then be ordered through ECAT through the new electronic process. Then as soon as the order has processed, almost about an hour later, we can check order confirmation, and about a day later we can get tracking and order receipt by the manufacturer. And then throughout the week, laboratory will ensure that the quality of the products that they're receiving is the same as what they were receiving when we ordered them on credit card. Weeks 3 and 4. These are where we really examine the process. Get down to the nitty gritty on what's actually working, what's not working, and what's saving time and what's not saving time. Medical logistics during this week 2 weeks, will examine product pipeline time. This will ensure that we're not only getting the products cheaper, but we're also getting them in a timely manner, opposed to maybe the credit card process was quicker. If there are products where the credit card process is quicker, we'll have to do a cost to benefit analysis to assure that it is still a beneficial process to keep them on ECAT or to switch them back to credit card. Product accuracy. Again, we're going to take any information we got from laboratory on product accuracy to ensure that we're getting the same quality product. And then we're going to contact ECAT with any of the order issues or product failures. A lot of this information is going to come from the laboratory during these weeks 3 and 4, because they're the ones ensuring the product quality, and they're the product subject matter experts. The laboratory also mostly during week 4, maybe a little bit during week 3 as products start coming in, they'll adjust their on-hand balances. Since now they can order more product at one time, they can keep more on hand and set a more robust reorder point. So, for example, if they were keeping 10 on hand and only using 10 a week, their reorder point was at 5, so that when they got halfway through the week, it takes 2 to 3 days to get the item in. They'll have them by Monday. They have the item by Monday when they should be close to being depleted. With this process, they can order hundreds at a time and set their reorder point even lower than the halfway point, because it provides more time for the shipping requirements. Plus, they're able to keep more product on hand, reduces the amount of orders that they have to do, and also reduces manpower hours. And then finally into week 5. This is our continuity week. Both medical logistics and laboratory will set up step-by-step inventory and ordering procedures. They will then publish these procedures both electronically and in a hard copy. Both sections, medical logistics and laboratory, have their own shared drives located on the Air Force network. This is a great place to publish those. They can make a folder and publish them so that anybody in the lab can access the inventory amounts, the reorder points, and the ordering procedures between the laboratory and medical logistics. Um, Vice versa for medical logistics, we have the same type of capability to publish electronically on the shared drive. A hard copy, this could be a binder, this could be a file, um, could be placed in the supply room for the laboratory, or it can also be placed in acquisitions for medical logistics to ensure that their step-by-step processes for every order is the same and to ensure quality and control over all these products. Now, medical logistics will take one step further and go into DIMLs, into each item, and what's called a master record. So every time we pull up an order for an item, it shows any notes attributed to the item and pipeline time and order history. With the change in pipeline time, this will have to be done manually since now we have a reduction in pipeline time for the e-commerce orders. We'll also put notes on any varying um, any items that vary from the normal pipeline time and any special requirements for each item that we found throughout the process in weeks 3 and 4. Estimated process improvement benefits. Once these 5 weeks are concluded and the whole process has been QC'd and is good to go, um, these are the estimated benefits to both the manpower and the budget or spending power capabilities. Manpower, anywhere from 108 to 216 hours annually. This is based off of 36 to 48 excuse me, orders annually, um, times 3 to 5 hours per order and 8 hours per SPLI order. The 36 to 48 orders can fluctuate. That's off current data with the credit card orders. I anticipate a lower amount of orders actually having to be processed, but with that we also gain back the time that it would have taken to place that order originally. Now the budget, this is what most people look at when estimating a process improvement success, and these numbers are kind of staggering. Close to 73,872 and up to $152,096 annually will be saved just by switching these items into an e-commerce or our e-cap process. Shipping costs, average cost per order, to kind of break down how we got these figures, it's cutting out the shipping costs. So $52 per order is our average shipping cost. 36 to 48 orders annually. That's $1,872 up to $2,496. And item costs. There's anywhere between 500 to 800 items per order. That's per unit. Times 36 to 48 orders annually again. And $4 saved per item or unit. This equals $72,000 and up to $153,000 saved just in the reduction of $4 per unit. This, when added to not having to pay for shipping costs, is how we get the $73,000 and the $152,000 annual savings. Now, in the long run, there's estimated 10-year savings. Manpower, we just took the amounts above and multiplied them by 10. These could increase or decrease due to demand. If the lab doesn't need to run as many tests, or if they have to run more tests, these numbers could increase or decrease. Manpower could average out to over 1,080 to 2,160 hours. Dollars over a 10-year span could be up to 738,720, ranging all the way up to $1,520,960. All this entire process for the medical logistics is funded by the government. So this is taxpayer money. When you're looking at hours and dollars of these amounts, it is critical that we implement this process not only for the well-being of medical logistics and the laboratory currently, but for future sections to be successful as well, and also to save taxpayer money, um, reduce debt, and increase our capabilities. And that concludes this presentation on uh, the medical logistics and laboratory process improvement. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.